Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you, Ebuka.
Ibuka.
All right. Okay. We'll start shortly. Thank you.
I don't know who the moderator is, but I don't know if we thought about this in the planning, um, playing the national anthem, Nigeria's national anthem.
And no, this wasn't. Good morning, Mr. Ogosa. No, it wasn't part of the program. I'm not sure how we'd be able to obtain the file in order to play it. Do you have it available that you can play it on your side?
Fortunately, I don't.
Yeah, sorry, apologies. Now we have participants online. If we can take note of that.
Let me see if I can pull it up quickly online, or if your tech people can quickly pull up Nigeria's national anthem. Because a big oversight.
Good morning and welcome to the AfSNET Awareness and Mobilization webinar for the Nigerian Governors Forum. This webinar seeks to increase awareness of AfSNET among the NGF members, creating awareness and encouraging participation at the Intra-African Trade Fair, and provide guidance on leveraging AfrixenBank's products and services, and ultimately reinforce the partnership between AfrixenBank and NGF. Before we proceed with this morning's program, please remember to add all comments and questions in the chat box. All participants will be muted, and we have allocated a Q&A session at the end of this program. I'd like to welcome our first speaker this morning, Mr. Hilary Kumrenda, who's the Senior Manager for the Trade Facilitation and Investment Promotion at AfrixenBank. Mr. Kumrenda, over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, and good morning, everyone. Let me just share the presentation. Evashna, please confirm with me if it's showing from from your
Not
end?
at this, not as yet. It is now. If
It
you could
is.
just make your screen full.
All right. Okay. Again, let me welcome everyone to this very, very important engagement with Nigeria's Governance Forum members. And as my colleague Evashni has said, I think the purpose of this engagement basically is to prepare for the IATF. And I'll be running you through the IATF presentation so that we see what is expected, what is there, and also for it to act as a rallying call for the full participation of not only Nigerian private sector and also the National Nigeria Governance Forum, but also other private sector, other governments across the continent and beyond. So my presentation basically will be, I'll try to be very, very quick, so stick to the point. I know time is not our side. We just have about, I think, 1 hour, 15 minutes for us to finish this program. Intra-African Trade Fair. I think most people might be wondering why the bank, which is basically established to finance trade, why so much emphasis on the Intra-African Trade Fair. There's history to it, actually. The bank, of course, was created to finance trade and also to promote intra-African trade within the continent, meaning that to promote trade among and also between African countries. And what we noticed over the years was that despite the bank pumping in about, at that time, around $20 billion into the intra-African financing trade, the trade within the continent actually did not grow to a level which was anticipated. And we started now identifying in terms of what could have been the problem. And we also looked around the various regions around the world. We looked at how trade was being conducted within the European Union, how trade was being conducted in North Africa, North America, how trade also was being conducted in Asia. And what we noticed was that when you look at intra-trade within those regions, was actually far much higher compared to the trade within the continent. For example, the European Union alone was trading around 45 to 55% of intra-Eurozone trade. North Africa was around the same, around 45%, 40%, and Asia was around 60%. But when you looked at Africa, it was really trading at very, very low levels. That was around between 14 to 18%, depending on which source of data that you are using. And we started then now asking ourselves question, what could be the problem with regards to this? And what we discovered as Afrexim Bank, which was also very much aligned to what African Union also discovered under the Boosting Intra-African Trade Initiative, was that the reason why there's been low levels of trade within the continent was due to lack of trade and market information. Most African countries did not know in terms of what other African countries were producing and what was available. And there are actually various examples that we can give relating to that. For example, a good example, I think, is West Africa generally. You find that every year they import meat and meat products from Argentina, from Australia, New Zealand, amounting to $3 to $4 billion worth of import of meat and meat products. Meanwhile, within the continent, we have countries actually that can fill up that gap. That is South Africa, we have Botswana, we have Sudan, we have Chad as well. That could actually fill up that demand. But these things are happening, it's because most countries do not actually have more information in terms of where they can source these materials from. That is not only the example. We can also look at the aspect of textile products. You'll find that Lesotho, most countries will get raw materials from outside the continent. Meanwhile, the same materials actually could be gotten from Burkina Faso. Finished products could also be sourced from countries such as Lesotho, just as an example. And it's because of this gap in terms of trade and market information. So we decided to come up with the Intra-African Trade Fair as a response to bridge that trade and market access information gap. And in trying to actualize this, Afrexim Bank, in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the AfSNET Secretariat, decided to come up with a biannual event, which we call Intra-African Trade Fair, as a platform where buyers and sellers and investors could meet and also consummate business transactions. And we've so far held 3 successful editions, and where we are at the moment, IATF now has become such a go-to platform, such a high-profile event, which attracts participation at the level of the heads of states, captains of the industry, and players from across various sectors. And it has now become what we are calling the AfCFTA marketplace and a go-to event on the continent. And we're also using the Intra-African Trade Fair to support the implementation of the Intra-African, to support the implementation of the AfCFTA agreement. And the expectation is that the AfCFTA is likely to boost Intra-African trade significantly over the coming years. And the resulting factor is that we are going to see it is going to foster industrialization, promote value addition, create jobs, as well as enhance competitiveness on the global stage. And what is so fundamentally unique about the Intra-African Trade Fair is that it's providing a unique platform for businesses to access a single market that has been created under the AfCFTA with over $1.4 billion with a combined GDP of $3.5 trillion, making it the 5th largest economy globally ever since the creation of the World Trade Organization. Now, what are some of the specific objectives of the IATF? Why are we doing the IATF? The whole idea, as I said, in order to bridge the trade and information gap that have existed for so many years, is basically to create one go-to platform whereby we can bring continental as well as global players to explore business and investment opportunities in Africa, and also to serve as a marketplace where buyers, sellers could meet and explore business opportunities, and more importantly, to share trade, investment, and market information, and to identify solutions to challenges affecting intra-African trade in general, and also to provide a platform for a broad spectrum of issues that connects tradable as well as trade facilitating activities such as the creative industries, automotives, seminars, workshops, and also to have a platform where we could actually have an opportunity to share information about the trade finance and trade interventions that is being provided by Afrexim Bank as well as other partner financial institutions that we are working with. Some of them actually they are key partners of the IATF, such as the African Development Bank. We have the Islamic Trade Finance Institution. We have BADEA, which is the Arab Bank for African Development, as well as other commercial banks across the continent that we are working with, so that we can put the resources together and be able to finance the much needed finance gap that has existed in the continent for far too long. And more fundamentally, is to provide a platform for business-to-business exchanges, business to government, and development of business opportunities. It also provides a platform whereby governments, in their quest to attract investment, they come up with investment projects, as well as the sub-sovereign, by the way, investment projects to attract investment in the various sectors. I already highlighted in terms of where we are coming from. So far, we've held 3 successful events. The first inaugural event took place in 2018. And it being the inaugural event, it attracted more than 1,000 exhibitors, more than 10,000 visitors, and it attracted participation from different countries, majority from the African continent, because that's the primary target. We had about 29 African countries participating in the event, and 16 were non-African countries. And in terms of trade and investment deals that were closed on the floor of the exhibition, amounted to $32.6 billion. So these are the deals that actually eventuated. So this is the value which the trade fair actually is providing and making a positive impact on the continent. And the first edition, just as a matter of noting, was held in Cairo, Egypt. The second edition was supposed to follow up in 2020, but as most of you are aware, the global economy was actually affected by the COVID pandemic. So practically all continental events were postponed. So definitely it also affected the IATF. So we moved it to 2021 and eventually held in Durban. And we saw it attracted more than 1,500 exhibitors with more than 32,000 visitors. And in terms of countries that participated in the event, were 128 countries that participated in the event. And then in the actual exhibition, there were about 46 countries. And there were also about around 20 countries, non-African countries. So when you look at the number of countries that actually have seen the opportunity and the transformative effect that the IATF has, actually it has now grown and also gone global. We're talking about 128 countries. And in terms of trade and investment deals that were closed on the floor of exhibition amounted to $2.1 billion. So these are the deals that eventually were closed. And as a consequence, this is the value that was created in terms of intra-African trade. Then the third edition was held again here, where we're based in Cairo, and it attracted around 2,000 exhibitors with more than 28,000 visitors. And in terms of number of participating countries, around 130 countries that participated. And again, $43.8 billion in trade and investment deals were closed on the floor of exhibitions. We have the fourth edition, which is coming up, which is actually, I think, very important for this webinar, and that is the IATF2025, which is holding in Algeria, in Algiers, in September 2025, from the 4th to the 10th of September, and we're anticipating to attract more than 2,000 exhibitors, more than 35,000 visitors, and more than 140 countries, participating countries globally, meaning all African countries will be at the trade fair. And in terms of trade and investment deals, we're projecting to close in excess of $44 billion. Then in terms of who attains the trade fair, what are the different categories of stakeholders that we attract and that we expect to be at the trade fair. As I said, all the governments actually they participate in the trade fair. We expect the private sector, the business associations, the different agencies, public-private agencies, financial institutions, the diaspora and the Caribbean, which is also a very, very critical component of this trade fair. And I'll speak to it in more detail when I'm talking about the components of the trade fair. Parastatals, the academia, research institutions, the NGOs, as well as development institutions. Then in terms of the targeted sectors, by design, the IATF is a multi-sectoral event, meaning that it covers all the sectors that that exist in the various economies. But fundamentally, we also have a targeted or broad list of sectors that we are deliberately and also intentionally trying to attract to this trade because of their positive externalities arising from these sectors. That is the agriculture and agro-processing, automotive, clothing and textiles, construction, consumer goods, creative industries, including entertainment, the diaspora, of course, education, power, tourism, youth startups, logistics, manufacturing, healthcare, and pharmaceuticals, finance, engineering, and name it. In terms of the architecture of the trade fair, it's composed of 11 key verticals, and I'm going to highlight. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. Let me try to reshare again. The slide actually just, let me see if I can. Okay. Apologies for that. These are the challenges of technology. Apologies for that. Okay. It's popping up, 30 seconds. Devashni, let me know if you're able to see it.
We can see it, Hillary. You can just make the screen.
Okay, sure.
Sure.
Apologies for that. Okay. Yes, so in terms of the overall architecture of the trade fair, it's composed of 11 components or the verticals, and this includes the trade exhibition. So the trade exhibition actually gives opportunities to various private and public sector entities to showcase their goods and services. And the second vertical is a Creative African Excellence Program. And this program basically showcases the African and diaspora creative economy in fashion, music, film, art and craft, sports, literature, and gastronomy. And it also includes the Creative Africa Summit, as well as the dedicated creative industry exhibition, as well as showcase. The third vertical is a Trade and Investment Forum. Now, this is a 4-day event which features African international speakers covering a variety of sessions to do with intra-African trade as well as investment. And the conference also features dedicated sessions that seeks to unlock opportunities under the AfCFTA, and it also includes the training workshops covering export standards and marketing. The third, the fourth vertical is the B2B to B2G platform. This basically provides opportunities for business matchmaking, business exchanges, and as well as provides opportunities for conclusion of business and investment deal. And this is supported by an African buyers program, and in doing so, we are very much deliberate in terms of choosing and selecting buyers that respond to the needs of the continent. And if you want, the fifth vertical is the Africa Automotive Show, and what this seeks to present a platform for auto manufacturers, assemblers, original equipment manufacturers, as well as component suppliers, basically to exhibit their products and interact with potential buyers and suppliers. There's actually been huge emphasis on the automotive industry because of the potential regional as well as global value chains that we so much believe Africa has potential to benefit from than just being consumers of these automotives, automobiles. The other vertical is the AU Startup Program. Basically, the AU Startup Program have a segment which has a dedicated pavilion for African new startups, where they showcase their innovative ideas, prototypes, goods and services. And also it presents an opportunity for business matchmaking and focuses more on entrepreneurship training, as well as networking among youth as well as delegates. And we use also this platform to attract venture capitalists who might take interest in what our youths on the continent are doing in the area of entrepreneurship. The other one is the Global Africa Day. So basically, the Global Africa Day highlights some commercial as well as cultural ties between Africa and its diaspora. As most of you are aware, when we're talking about intra-African trade, in the context also of Afreximbank, and also in the context of African Union, the sixth region of the AU is the diaspora. So under this framework of the IATF, we have major focus, a major emphasis on that, and we've seen increasingly in terms of participation of people from the diaspora, especially from the Caribbean, in the trade fair, and we're using that basically to promote the commercial and cultural ties between the mainland Africa and also its diaspora. And also it features other elements such as the Global Africa Summit. It has a dedicated market and exhibition, cultural as well as the gastronomical showcase. The other vertical is the special day. So the special day segment is available to four sponsorship opportunities, which is open to both countries as well as private sector entities, and it presents a platform for countries, private sector and public entities to showcase their trade, investment, tourism, as well as cultural opportunities. So basically, it gives you a dedicated day where either a company can showcase in terms of what they are doing, the kind of products that they're doing, and also in the case of the countries, it also enables them to showcase in terms of the tourism potential, cultural opportunities, trade and investment opportunities. So the first day is reserved for the host country, in this case, Algeria. And we have the Africa Research and Innovation Hub at IATF. This is a new vertical that we've included, and the first time it will be showcased is at the forthcoming IATF. And basically, it's in response to what we've seen in terms of groundbreaking research that most university students, the academia and national research centers across the continent that they are doing, but they do not have a platform upon which they could actually showcase and also transform all these research outputs into industrial applicability. And the IATF just presents that bigger platform for this to actually thrive. And we expect prototypes, inventions, published research papers to be showcased at the forthcoming IATF, and also to provide opportunity for investors as well as to garner commercial support to take the various research to the market. We also have the IATF Virtual. The IATF Virtual basically is a year-round platform that connects buyers and sellers from Africa and beyond. And it basically brings together exhibitors and visitors from all sectors of the countries, of the economies. And the whole idea of coming up with IATF Virtual is that whereas the actual IATF event holds every 2 years, once every 2 years. However, in between the main IATFs, the idea is to make sure that businesses continue to run. We need to have a platform whereby buyers, sellers should be able to connect and continue doing business, and also a platform through which sub-sovereigns as well as governments could actually pitch their available investment projects, so that, I mean, investors as well as other potential investors could actually look at it and hopefully, consummate those into the actual investment deals. So this platform, it's an interactive platform, and it runs 24/7, 365 days. And it also offers other value add functions, such as it can host events. So like what we are doing right now, it's also being showcased under the platform. It also has capabilities whereby we can put pre-recorded events on demand, as well as it has capabilities to feature country pavilions whereby even the sub-sovereign, so in this case, the various sub-sovereign in Algeria could actually take up those pavilions, and then you use that to showcase in terms of the businesses that are happening in the various states, as well as the investments that are available. And the advantage of the IATF Virtual is that we are continuously mobilizing visitors to the platform. Just this year alone, during the cycle of the IATF, we've already registered around 10,000 visitors. So it's a go-to market platform where you may consider taking up a pavilion at a very minimal cost of $750, but we can also, I think, discuss and see what we can offer, so that, I mean, you can derive the best value of your investment. And the other one, which is very much critical and which is very much central to this webinar, is a sub-sovereign governments network, which presents a platform to promote intra-African trade and investment between and among sub-sovereigns within the region, within the African continent, as well as education, as well as cultural exchanges. And it also provides for effective engagement on development of African regions among sub-sovereigns in the context of the AfCFTA. So in terms of the AfCFTA implementation, we're then attacking it from 3 angles. There's a private sector angle, there's a government, central government angle, and also there's a sub-sovereign. So the sub-sovereign network is such an important and integral part of the IATF. And using this opportunity to, again, I know Nigerian sub-sovereigns, most of them have confirmed participation, but fundamentally is to take up exhibition space, so that you can have that very unique, distinct feature in terms of what the various sub-sovereigns are actually exhibiting. So far, we only have 4 from Nigeria, among the many sub-sovereigns that have expressed interest, and only 1 at the moment has signed up a contract. So this is also an opportunity that I'm presenting to you to say, please, this is an opportunity for you to showcase the various products, services, as well as investment projects that exist that you can attract into your various states. And over the past 3 editions that I've held so far, we've recorded so many success stories, numerous to mention, but I just want to highlight quite a few. I'm not going to go through all of them. The co-founder of Pluto Africa, he after participating in the IATF 2023, that actually opened up more doors and opportunities in his area. We also have Gazeb Zodit, who's an entrepreneur, and after participating in 2023, and she also participated in 2021, that actually exposed her business to the African market and also beyond. And we also have this is from Egypt, which has also created limitless opportunities and access to other African markets. And I mean, the list is, there are actually quite a lot of these in the various sectors. And I think for Nigeria, I like making, usually giving this success story, which is, I think, well known, about a Nigerian young entrepreneur who came to the IATF in 2018 as the inaugural with a prototype in terms of drone. He came up with a prototype of a drone, and interested parties from Singapore who are also participating in the event, they took interest in that. And as we speak right now, it has gone global. It's the one who has been manufacturing drones that they use in their manufacture, in their agricultural sector, and he has now again started now extending these services to the continent. So these are just some of the limitless opportunities which both young, middle, and old entrepreneurs actually find at the IATF. And I would like to encourage all of you to register for the IATF. The registration is still on. And these are, we'll share the presentation after this. These are some of the steps that you can follow to register. It's very, very critical that you register so that you can start receiving information. You can start connecting, seeing what other opportunities are available, the potential investors, so that you can also pitch some of the investment projects, some of the products within the various sub-sovereigns to this. So it's such an opportunity that you cannot afford to miss. So the advantage is that you register early and then you benefit. You benefit. It also helps in terms of when it comes to visa application, you register. Then after that, then you can proceed to apply for your visa in good time. And we actually found on the various social media handles, if you want more information about the IATF, we are on LinkedIn, the Intra-African Trade Fair. We're on Facebook, or we are on X. We are also on Instagram, and also we have a very robust IATF website where you can find all this information, as well as registration and information generally about the trade fair, in case you want more information on that. And but again, I mean, if you want to get maybe, I think, dedicated information, we also have a dedicated email address. You can contact us on customer service at intraafricantradefair.com, and we'll be able to respond to your issues or your questions, clarifications. And we have a workable call center which works 24 hours, and so that we can be able to respond to your needs and service of it. And as I close, I just want to again appeal to the NGF to say this is an opportunity. Nigeria is one of those that have actually seen gold in IATF. You participate in great numbers, and in Algeria, it's going to be bigger and better than the previous edition. So I encourage you, partner with us, reach out to the various stakeholders in your various states, and see you in Algeria in great numbers. And also, I would like also to use this opportunity to just highlight that we have an IATF Intra-African Trade Fair Roadshow that has been slated for the 3rd of June in Lagos. We've already started registration, and of course, to NGF, would like you to help us also to send this word across your various members, attract the various buyers, private sector, and all those that want to participate in the IATF. So the roadshow basically will provide a lot of information about the trade fair as well as the opportunities. And I would like to use this opportunity to please extend that invitation and see you in Lagos on 3rd of June and also in Algeria in September. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hilary, for that presentation. We'd firstly like to apologize. The program was to begin with the welcome by Mr. Dr. Chichu, who's the DG of the NGF, as we had received apologies from Dr. Gainmore, who is running late currently. The Nigeria Governors Forum, NGF, comprising of Nigeria's 36 elected state governors, has been a strategic partner in the journey of bringing together governors, premiers, mayors, and other sub-sovereign leaders across Africa to support the AfCFTA implementation through its partnership with the Fixum Bank and the AfSNET program. NGF's involvement was prominently demonstrated during the second AfSNET conference, jointly convened with the Fixum Bank on the 30th of September in 2022 in Abuja, Nigeria. The conference brought together the leaders from the sub-sovereign governments network across Africa to explore the program. We'd like to welcome and bring to the floor now Dr. Lot Chitu, who is the Director General at the Nigerian Governors Forum, to please present us with the welcome and opening remarks. Dr. Chitu, over to you.
Thank you very much, Vashni. My name is Egosa Moigui, representing the Director General, Dr. Abdulateef Shittu. He actually was on the call initially, but as the program evolved, he had to attend to other issues. Yes, yeah. So he gives his apologies, but he has asked me to just speak on his behalf and give this remark, which I will just read because of time. Distinguished participants, representatives of AfrExim Bank, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, the governor of Kwara State, His Excellency Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, I'm pleased to welcome you to this important awareness and mobilization webinar conveyed in collaboration with our strategic partners at the African Export-Import Bank, AfrExim Bank. This engagement marks the beginning of a critical journey towards Nigeria's active and coordinated participation in the 5th African Sub-Sovereign Network Conference and the Intra-African Trade Fair, scheduled to hold in Algiers, Algeria from September 4th to 10th, 2025. This pre-conference webinar is more than a briefing session. It is a call to action for subnational governments, investment promotion agencies, and private sector partners to take full advantage of the platforms that AfrExim Bank continues to offer for sub-sovereign development. Our theme today is clear: building readiness, deepening engagement, and fostering alignment with continental trade and investment opportunities under the AfCFTA framework. As many of us are aware, the Intra-African Trade Fair is the continent's largest trade and investment gathering, bringing together governments, businesses, financiers, and development institutions to explore opportunities, showcase innovation, and close transformative deals. Nigeria, with its vast resources, entrepreneurial energy, and dynamic subnational economies, must continue to play a central role in shaping the outcome of this fair. The AfSNET initiative, championed by AfrExim Bank, provides an exceptional platform for states to elevate their visibility, attract foreign direct investment, and access project preparation support. I commend AfrExim Bank's leadership for the deliberate inclusion of subnational actors and for helping to bridge the investment readiness gap across the continent. Today's session and the second webinar that will follow will focus on critical areas such as project packaging, investment promotion, intergovernmental collaboration, and the use of innovative financing instruments that AfrExim Bank offers to sub-sovereign entities. We urge all participants to pay close attention, ask questions, and most importantly, ensure that the lessons from this webinar translate into real action at the state level. To this end, we expect to see strong representation from Nigeria's states at the IATF2025. And our ambition is not only to participate, but to showcase bankable projects, facilitate state-level trade partnerships, and demonstrate Nigeria's leadership in harnessing the benefits of the African Continental Free Trade Area. Let me assure you that the NGF Secretariat stands ready to support our states in this process, from technical assistance and coordination to facilitating access to AfrExim Bank's instruments and the AfSNET ecosystem. This is a collective journey, and we are stronger when we move together. So in closing, I would like to thank Afreximbank once again for its unwavering commitment to Nigeria's development agenda and for creating a platform where our states can truly thrive. I wish you all a productive webinar and look forward to engaging outcomes that will drive Nigeria's success at the 5th AfSNET Conference and IATF 2025. Thank you. Dr. Abdulateef Shittu, Director General.
Thank you, Mr. Igosa, for those welcome and opening remarks. And we have the pleasure of inviting you this morning. So we look forward, as Hilary mentioned, to a broader participation of the NGF at this year's AfSNET, as well as the Intra-African Trade Fair. As you will know, the 5th AfSNET Investment Conference will be taking place on the sidelines of the Intra-African Trade Fair, which is scheduled to take place from the 4th to the 10th of September in 2025 in Algiers, Algeria. To this end, Afreximbank is working with the NGF to mobilize the participation of the Nigerian states, investment promotion agencies to participate in the AfSNET conference, the Inter-African Trade Fair and its verticals, as well as to take up pavilion and exhibition spaces to showcase the trade, investment and innovative potential of Nigerian sub-sovereigns. Next this morning, to talk more about the AfSNET conference, we have Mrs. Matimba Changala, who is the Manager, Trade and Facilitations and Investment Promotion at Afreximbank. Changala, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. May I just request that I can share my slides? If the host could just allow me to share my slides.
Ibuka, if you can please share, allow Matimba to share.
While that is coming up, just to introduce myself, my name is Matimba Changala. I work in the Intra-African Trade.
Sorry, Matimba.
Yes.
Apologies. Yeah, you are a panelist. You are able to share your slides.
It
Please
says the
check.
host isn't allowing multiple presenter sharing for this webinar, and it says someone else is sharing. That's the message I keep getting.
Oh, okay. Apologies. If there's someone who's still sharing their screen, please.
Hilary's screen is still sharing.
Hillary is still sharing.
Hillary?
Hello, yes, Evashni, I don't know what has happened to my system. I've given you access. Can you stop sharing maybe from your end? I don't know what has happened to my system. Apologies.
So it's not letting me share on my side either. It's giving me the same error that Matimba
Okay, just
gave.
a minute.
So Hillary, maybe you could drop off and join
Okay,
again.
maybe.
So,
Yes.
yeah, sure. Please. Yes, Matimba, please try again.
How do I make this full screen? Okay. Just confirm you can see my slides.
Not as, yeah, we do. Yeah, perfect.
So good morning and good afternoon once again. I think it's afternoon in Egypt and morning in Nigeria. So my name is Matimba Changala. I'm the Manager, Trade Facilitation and Investment Promotion. So I manage the AfSNET initiative. I'm just going to give an overview on the initiative and what we're trying to do. So just to tell you more about the initiative, the AfSNET initiative, which stands for the African Sub-Sovereign Governments Network, was established in 2021 by the African Export and Import Bank, and it was established as a vehicle for promoting intra-African investment and industrialization at the sub-sovereign level. So the main objective is generally to promote intra-Africa trade and investment, education and cultural exchanges, and the effective participation of sub-sovereigns in the African Continental Free Trade Area, but also for the development and prosperity of the continent. And as we implement this strategy, we generally define the sub-sovereign governments network as a sub-sovereign government as really a division of sub-sovereign states that is designated as either a region, a state, a province, a county, or a local authority, which has powers to have its own legislature, mandate, collect revenue, spend, and also support the socio-economic development of that particular region and undertake trade and investment promotion initiatives. So we are basically promoting this initiative with the objective of strengthening sub-sovereign governance across the continent. And we are also doing this to create a platform for private-public collaboration and capacity building, peer learning, amongst and support to investment promotion agencies of the sub-sovereign governments. Just a minute, We also undertake the investment promotion initiative with the objective of deepening regional integration and the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area. So it's a conduit also that we use to promote the bank products and initiatives. So we make the bank products and initiatives that we have at the bank available to sub-sovereign governments. So we have various products and initiatives that we share with the sub-sovereign governments network that they can tap into and be able to take advantage of. Some of those include, we have an SME program, we have training programs on how to export under the AfCFTA. We also have an engineer, procure, and construct initiative that allows African engineering companies to participate in construction projects on the region. It's also a platform that we use to promote what we call African direct investment, which is African countries investing in other African countries, but also we support sub-sovereigns with attracting foreign direct investment. So it's basically, we also use it as a think tank, a center of excellence for trade and investment matters at the sub-sovereign level. Our AfSNET conference, which we've been undertaking over the years, are also used for matchmaking and twinning. So we provide matchmaking and twinning services for African sub-sovereigns, where we twin them with potential investors, financial institutions, local private sector companies, and other project promoters, all in an effort to try and bring development in the African sub-sovereign governments. It's also a platform to support infrastructure development, trade and investment, and infrastructure development in these particular regions. And we use it also as a platform for peer learning. So for collaboration among sub-sovereigns, a county in Kenya, say Kilifi County, can enhance their collaboration and learn from each other with a county in Nigeria, for instance, Anambra State as an example. And then we also support with any bankable investment deals that are coming from these sub-sovereign regions. So we generally will ask for your investment projects that you are promoting in your region and see how we can support you with investors or financiers to be able to bring about development in your regions. So just to give you a brief history of the conferences that we've had in the past, we have had the first inaugural conference, AfSNET inaugural conference, was held in KwaZulu-Natal. This is where KwaZulu-Natal was hosting the Intra-African Trade Fair, and it was at that trade fair that a decision was made to establish the African Sub-Sovereign Governments Initiative. And the first one was held in South Africa, and it was on the sidelines of the IATF in 2028. At that conference, we had over 80 participants who participated, and 6 African sub-sovereign governments who also participated at that conference. And at that conference resolved that to hold 1 annual investment conferences every year, but also to support sub-sovereigns in the implementation of the AfCFTA, and generally to support industrial development at the sub-sovereign level. So we've also The second AfSNET investment conference. So it's an annual conference that we've been holding yearly since this inaugural one. And the second one we held in Nigeria. And it was held on the 30th of September in 2022. And we worked in close collaboration with the Nigerian Governors Forum, who hosted that conference. And we had over 150 delegates. The head of state at that time was in attendance, and we had governors, over 40 governors attending that conference, and from 10 participating countries. Some of them, just to mention a few, we had Madagascar, Comoros, Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, some of the countries that participated in that second conference. And basically, it resolved to institutionalize the conference. And it was there that we agreed with the United Cities and Local Governments Associates to collaborate with them in order to increase membership, but also to enhance our support to the African sub-sovereigns. The third AfSNET investment conference was then held in Cairo, Egypt, on the sidelines of the Intra-Africa Trade Fair. So this was on November 14 in 2023, with the theme of accelerating AfCFTA implementation and unlocking trade and investment opportunities and finance opportunities. So we also, at this conference, we had attendance from over 33 governors and representatives from 12 countries. You will see the list of some of the countries that participated at that conference. And we were able to forge business-to-business meetings, government-to-government meetings, and the event generally generated over 1.5 billion in deals, were closed during the session, and contributed to enhancing intra-Africa trade and investment. I don't know why my screen has hung. So the fourth AfSNET investment conference was held last year. So last year we were in Kisumu, Kenya in November, and we had the biggest AfSNET investment conference so far. We had 938 participants from 21 countries. You will see some of the pictures from that conference. And we had 27 governors in attendance, 16 mayors, and about 5 ministers attending that conference. We were graced by the presence of His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the President of Kenya. And during that conference, we also did a capacity building and knowledge sharing session, which we did in partnership with the World Trade Center Miami and Tractors Asia. And we had participation just for the capacity building initiative of over 210 participants. You will see from the bottom picture some of the participants that we had for that training session. And in terms of the key outcomes, we had over 13 deals valued at 1.7 billion that were initiated at that conference. And notable among there, we signed an agreement during the conference for 40 million, a project preparation facility with Med Aditas to establish a pharmaceutical plant in Kisumu County of Kenya. So we are engaging with you today to participate in the 5th AfSNET Investment Conference. This one is scheduled for the 6th of September. It will be on the sidelines of the Intra-African Trade Fair, which will be happening in Cairo from the 4th to the 10th. Would like you to participate, and the theme for this 5th conference that we would like you to participate in is Local Power, Global Impact, Strengthening Africa's Sub-Sovereign Governments for Sustainable Development. So it'll be a platform for you to be able to present your investment projects, to participate in the trade fair, to take up exhibition space in order to showcase what your various counties are producing, with the view of being able to forge trade deals for the goods that are being produced in our counties, but also to be able to engage with potential investors who can support the development of your specific states. And the objectives of this conference will be, one, to strengthen sub-sovereign leadership and governance, to support your investment-ready projects, to facilitate engagement, and we'll also use that to just highlight in depth some of the Afreximbank products and initiatives that can support your development. And some of those include, we support the establishment of industrial parks, special economic zones, establishment of African quality assurance centers, among others, and we support attraction of investment in your states. It will also be a platform to highlight private sector participation, so investors can come to that, and other private sector will also come through. We'll have a session which will showcase some success stories in some of the sub-sovereigns. We're inviting some sub-sovereigns in the United States as well to be part of that session and just share some of their experiences. We're also inviting some sub-sovereigns from the Caribbean. Some of you may already know the bank has a partnership agreement with 12 Caribbean states. So we're involving them in this program as well to be able to share their experiences, but also to benefit from the conference in general. We'll also, the beauty about participating in this year's conference is you not only participate in the AfSNET investment conference, you will have access to the rest of the trade fair in terms of the various verticals that my colleague highlighted. You can participate in the ALTO, the Trade and Investment Program, the B2B engagements. So you give, and not only are you participating in the conference, you're also able to participate in the broader Intra-African trade fair. So I would encourage you to attend. The whole trade fair is 5 days. The AfSNET conference is on one of those days, but your participation allows you to access all the other verticals that will be at the trade fair. We also use it as a platform for culture and economic exchange. So the various cultures that we have in Africa, the Caribbean, this is also a platform where we encourage cultural collaboration. So just to give you an overview, the conference will be in person. We'll have a deal room for you to share your investment projects. We'll have high-level panel discussions, B2B engagements, and various speeches. And we expect participation from all African countries. Right now, we have membership from all African countries. And we expect, but key among those will be, of course, Nigeria, Kenya, and South Africa, who have been consistent under a sub-sovereign system of governance. So we will expect the participation of those 3 countries in addition to the rest of Africa. It's also a platform really where we expect high-level participation and enhanced visibility for you if you participate. We have speaking opportunities for the various sub-sovereign governments. So your confirmation of participation, the earlier you confirm your participation, then we can give you speaking opportunities on the program. But also those that take up an exhibition space would also be given priority to be part of the conference program. So just highlighting the speaking opportunities there as well to be able to create visibility for your states as you engage in our investment conference. So just to conclude, just to highlight that the investment conference and the AfSNET initiative is all about collaboration among the African sub-sovereign governments. We use it as a platform for capacity building. We support you by bringing financials to the investment conference as well as investors, all in an effort to try and bring about sustainable development in your regions. So at this point, I'll just encourage all of you to join us at the 5th AfSNET Investment Conference. You can come in as a participant, as a delegate to represent your state, but you can also participate as a speaker, as I rightly highlighted, and you can also take up exhibition space. We have sponsorship opportunities, and you can participate in the various verticals of the IATF. I will end here and hand over to the moderator for the question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matimba. So next up, I'd like to call Mr. Gosa Omoigi, who is the head stakeholder of relationships at the NGF, to take us on an update on mobilization and pavilion confirmation. Mr. Igosa?
Yes, thank you very much, Vashni, and thank you, Matimba, for the very elucidating what the AfSNET really stands for. Because on the call we have representatives, the leadership of the investment promotion agencies across the 36 sub-sovereign states in Nigeria. We also have the leadership of the public-private partnerships agencies
in Nigeria. I see a couple of my friends on the call just to acknowledge them. The DG Kebbi Investment Promotion Agency, Dr. Kamba. I also see the Vice President Nasida, that's Nasara Investment Development Agency, Imam Rabiu. I see the PPPA Sokoto, the DG, Safiano Seidu. I also see the DG Kwara Investment Promotion Agency, Dr. Zainab Ayela, acknowledge you. Ogun Invest, I see Shola Arubuke and her team on the call. The DG Benway Investment Promotion, Terkmen Kenya, who is also the chairman of the Investment Promotion Forum. He's on the call. The DG Ogun PPP, Public-Private Partnership, Dr. Duole, I also acknowledge you, and others that I know that we have a lot of people on the call. Just to say thank you for joining in at such a short notice, because I know we had to mix up with the time in Cairo time and Nigeria time. But yes, Matiba has said a lot. NGF has been part of this journey since 2021, when we first attended the inaugural meeting in Durban. The chairman of NGF at the time, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, he was there, and some states. But in 2022, as she rightly said, we hosted the event and we had a full representation. We had that at the State House. And 2023, we were in Cairo with we had excellencies from Ogun State, Cross River, the chairman, Kwara, Ondo, Edo, or Ekiti State, fully participating in the summit, and we had their teams also there as well. In Kisumu, we had the Excellency Governor of Zamfara State in Kisumu in 2024. We also had the Deputy Governor of Kaduna State there as in 2024. And we had all the investment promotion agencies, So just to tell you that we are fully in support of this drive, because we found out that, we have to collaborate and, seek opportunities, especially, in partnership with AfSNET Bank. That being said, for updates, we have, in the beginning of the year, all of us on the call, the NGF was on an investment drive to catalog the bankable projects that we have on the call. So yes, this is on the go. I also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Tony, the DG of Delta State Investment Promotion, and also Dr. Naziru, who's the DG of Kano State Investment Promotion Agency. You're welcome, sirs. At the beginning of the year, we decided to catalog the bankable projects that we have across the country, and we've completed that exercise and we've put it in a compendium, which we'll be showcasing at several investment missions we have scheduled for the year, including this IATF. I'll just share my screen for a summary of what that is looking like. So that speaks to what Matimba said earlier about, preparing your projects, the opportunities. I don't know if we see this on the screen. So we have a pipeline of bankable projects of about over 180 projects from that compendium that we have here. And, and that cuts across the whole 36 states, and it's in multiple sectors to the tune of over $20 billion. In that report, you would see the status of these investments and, whether they're green, brown, field, you will see them in there. And you would see the environment the state has made, the investment environment, what policies have been put in place, and what, the business environment, the business climate for the state. So it makes it investor friendly, and initiatives that, that are accessible to investors when they come into the country. So this is just a teaser, AfSNET Bank, that when we do come, these are some of the conversations we would be having to make sure that these investments come to these states. I would also state here that the NGF will be coordinating some national participation. I know Hillary in his presentation said that there were just four indicated participants from Nigeria. 4 states have indicated, and then 1 has signed the contract. I would like to know who those 4 are. But that being said, traditionally when we do go for AfSNET, the NGF coordinates not just the investment promotion agencies to these missions, but also the governors, because they're the chief marketers of their states. So at the NGF meeting, so the NGF has the governors meet every month, and will be presenting the IATF and the AfSNET conference on the agenda for the next meeting, so that they can put it in their calendars. They would lead their state delegation to Algeria, like how they have done in past editions. And then, of course, they will be accompanied with their investment promotion team, their PPP team, or their commissioners of trade and investment, as we have them on the call. So on the call here, we have the technical people. They are understanding what it needs, what are the requirements to participate in the AfSNET conference and the IATF itself. But then the state delegation will be coming with this compendium that is on the screen, and the NGF will be leading the coordination. So I'll just park it at that because of time. This was supposed to be 1 hour 15 minute meeting, but I know we've stretched it a bit. So, but just to give the commitment that the NGF will be coordinating the participation, partners on the call, the heads of investment promotion agencies in the states and the PPP. You can, send the interest to myself. You all have my details. You can indicate your interest. But then at the next NGF meeting, we'll be signaling this as part of the agenda, so that their excellencies are aware and they can put it in their diaries to attend the meeting in September. So I'll just end it here for time, but just to give the assurance that the NGF will be leading the team, coordinating. I know there's a piece on the pavilion, and normally when we go out like that, we have states had their pavilions, like what we had in the last IATF. I know that the states went with their own pavilion, so that decision will be reached at the next NGF meeting, whether states would organize their separate pavilions or we have a very broad Nigeria one. The problem about having a broader Nigeria one is because when the ITF is not just the states that are going, we have the federal government that will also be there. So if the Ministry of Trade and Investment, other federal agencies set up their pavilions there. So not to create the confusion and calling it Nigerian pavilion, there are a lot of investment arms of government. Having a Nigerian pavilion might not be the route to go. So we might replicate what we did in Cairo, where some nationals had their own pavilion, but that conclusion will be reached at the next NGF meeting. So I'll just pause it here for time. Thank you for your attention. Vashni, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Igosa. Thank you for that presentation. If I can just reiterate to the audience members, if you can please in the chat box just reaffirm. I know Mr. Igosa did make mention of some of the states in attendance, but if you can also just identify yourself and advise us which states you are participating from. I'd also like to just take the opportunity to just play the IATF video before we go into the Q&A session. We'll go into the Q&A session first, and then we will play the video. I see at the moment we have just one question from Zainab. Yes, you will be able to get a recording. We will advise regarding the video, regarding the recording will be sent as a link. So yes, we are going to play the video. So if I can just let the The video will be played momentarily. If you can just allow us a chance to open it. All right. Okay, so we're having a bit of technical issues with regards to the video at the moment. So while we get it, if I can just get an indication of the participants in the Q&A chat box. At the bottom of your screen, there is a Q&A chat box. All the questions that you would like to ask will go into the chat box. So please feel free to type in those questions there.
The audio, I don't hear the audio, Vashni.
Okay, we're just trying to get the audio on the video.
Of Algeria.
Are you able to hear?
Africa's premier trade and investment event is presented by the
Yes.
African Export-Import Bank. Africa, get ready for the 4th Intra-African Trade Fair in the People's Republic of Algeria. Africa's premier trade and investment event is presented
you can
by the
maximize
African
it.
Export-Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, the African Union Commission, and the AfCFTA Secretariat. Join us from September the 4th to the 10th, 2025 to access more opportunities for trade, partnerships, and possibilities across Africa. With over 2,000 exhibitors, 35,000 plus attendees from 140 plus countries, and the potential to generate $44 billion in trade and investment opportunities, this edition is set to be a game changer. Access more trade. Showcase your products and services in our customized pavilions, designed to connect you with sponsors, investors, partners, and decision makers from business, government, the diaspora, the Caribbean, and the rest of the world. Whether you're a seasoned player or a startup, IATF2025 opens doors to more connections, collaborations, and growth. Over 7 exciting days, you'll be inspired by distinguished leading speakers from Africa and around the globe and gain valuable insights into the continent's trade and investment landscape. while elevating your brand recognition and showcasing your vibrant range of African products and services. Access more insights. Be inspired by world-class speakers and industry leaders at the Trade and Investment Forum. Learn about trade opportunities under AfCFTA, tackle key barriers to intra-African trade, and gain practical tools through training workshops on exporting, standards, and marketing. Access more creativity. Celebrate Africa's vibrant creative economy at the Creative Africa Nexus, where fashion, music, film, arts and crafts, sports, literature, and culinary arts take center stage. Discover new markets and untapped talent in an atmosphere brimming with energy and innovation. Access more markets. The African Buyers Program and matchmaking sessions ensure meaningful exchanges, enabling businesses to conclude impactful deals. Access more engagement. The Special Day segment is open to countries, private and public sector entities, and offers tailored opportunities for countries and entities to highlight their trade, investment, tourism, and cultural potential. Access more connections. Through the IATF virtual platform, you can showcase your goods, services, and investment opportunities on an interactive online platform available all year round. Access more innovation. Explore the future of Africa's automotive industry with auto manufacturers, OEMs, and suppliers. Access more growth. See the next generation of African innovators showcase their bold ideas and prototypes at our dedicated pavilion for African youth startups. Access more connections. IATF 2025 Global Africa Day will highlight commercial and cultural ties between Africa and its diaspora, featuring a Global Africa Summit, a market, exhibitions, and a distinctly African cultural and gastronomic showcase. Access more expertise. Dive into cutting-edge research and inventions by students, academics, and national researchers that are shaping Africa's future with the Africa Research and Innovation Hub at IATF. Access more partnerships. The African Sub-Sovereign Governments Network Conference presents a platform to promote intra-African trade and investment, educational and cultural exchanges, and effective and active engagement on the development of Africa regions in the context of the AfCFTA. Access more of Africa's potential. With access to a unified African market of 1.4 billion people and a GDP of $3.5 trillion created under the AfCFTA, IATF 2025 offers unparalleled opportunities to trade, grow, and thrive. African Export-Import Bank, African Union, AfCFTA Secretariat, and the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria invite you to join us at the IATF 2025 in Algiers, Algeria, your gateway to new opportunities. Don't miss out. Visit intraafricantradefair.com to confirm your participation and access more today.
All right, so Mr. Sadiq Mohammed has a question. My question is with regards to pavilion branding. Are there dedicated graphic designers who will assist us? Mr. Mohammed, thank you for your question. And as you're also one of the participants that are confirming their participation at this year's event, in terms of that, with regards to the booths, so there are booths available. If you opt to take a booth that is part of our exhibitor stand packages, the graphics, they are dedicated graphic designers. Once your contract is sent through, we will then contact you with regards to the artwork. So you will have a visual idea of where artwork will be applied dependent on your booth. And then we will request your artwork, and that artwork will then be done on your behalf. I would like the participants who would like to say something or to ask a question to raise their hands so that we can unmute them to allow them to ask their questions. But I think it will also be would like to take this opportunity to also invite the states that have previously participated in the AfSNET or the Intra-African Trade Fair to also share their experience with regards to the events. We'd also appreciate that. So I'd like to encourage the participants to either share, to raise their hand in order to ask the questions, or if they'd like to share their experience regarding the events, to also just raise their hand. I'm not sure. Or even if there are some states in the room that would like to give us an update on projects that they have available. Just a reminder that all the presentations will be sent through. I think then with the permission of the speakers, since there are no other questions, if we'd like to close the session.
Thank you, Vashni. I think just to say thank you so much to all the speakers that came through. We're available, whether directly or through the NGF office if you need information on participation at the Intra-Africa Trade Fair and on the AfSNET initiative. If you'd like to share your investment projects, we'll put our information in our chat so you can reach out to us and get more information. And we can send out, I think after this, we can send out more collaterals and information on the IATF as well as the AfSNET initiative. Thank you so much. I don't know if my colleagues also.
Yes, I just want to thank the states for joining in on this call. You know, when the questions were asked, if there were any, I quickly went through the participant list, and I saw that everyone on the call is pretty new. So this is going to be their first road show. You know, I know in times past we have had Jigawa State, Ekiti State, and Ogun State, you know, frequently attend these meetings. But the way Nigeria works, sometimes, you know, over the cycle of the years, the leadership changes. So I've just scrolled through the call now, and I've seen that everyone here is new. So I just want to encourage us all to this is something that's good, and the NGF is supporting this because you have to bring investment to execute those projects. And I have it on the screen, you know, over $80 billion worth in the pipeline from the compilation we have of pipeline projects for the states, and over 180 projects. So this is an opportunity to showcase that at this international event. And you know, and I think if to give feedback on past ones, I remember in Cairo we had the B2G meetings with Edo State with a infrastructure construction firm in Cairo. Within 2 weeks after that event, they came into country, and they were in Edo State, they were in Kwara, you know, and they are executing their project here in the country. So that's an opportunity that, you know, if the states did not participate in that AfSNET conference, you know, they wouldn't have had the opportunity for that investment to come in. So I just want to just re-echo that this is an opportunity to showcase what we have in our states. And you know, for those who want to have booths, those arrangements can be made bilaterally with AfrExim Bank, you know, pending when the NGF reaches a position on the coordination of that. So I just want to put that out there, and thank you all for making our time to be here. God bless. Vashni?
Thank you, Mr. Igosa, and thank you, we'd like to just thank all the participants for taking their time, and we'd like to wish you a lovely day further. Thank you. And I look forward to all those stand applications from all the states. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good day.